Hey everyone, Shem Patola here at the Ford Freedom. It is Super Bowl Sunday 2021 and we're going to make Super Bowl chili, Ford Freedom style. So I'm going to switch the camera view around, show the ingredients, then reset it up over the stove so you can see how this goes together, and we'll get going on it. Okay, so we're back. We're doing Super Bowl chili, Ford Freedom style. So right here I've got 1 pound of regular ground beef. I don't use the extra lean or lean stuff because there's no flavor, unless you like sawdust. We've got 28 ounces or 796 grams of diced tomatoes, 1 can of 6-bean blend beans. I'm sure there's some chili purists screaming now, it's only supposed to be kidney beans. Well, too bad. Try this, it's delicious. In this bowl here, I've got 1 red bell pepper diced, 2 stalks of celery sliced, 1 medium-sized cooking onion, and about a cup of sliced cremini mushrooms. A heaping tablespoon of minced garlic, and probably a couple tablespoons of chili powder, and we may even include some more. I've also got over at the stove some cumin and some cinnamon. Okay, I'm gonna set up at the stove and we'll start cooking. Okay, we're back into the pot here. I've got probably a tablespoon and a half, 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil heating up. We'll bring our beef over, get it into the pan, wait for this to start sizzling, then we'll start adding our spices. So we want to get the meat well seasoned before we introduce everything else. Okay, just use my hand into here. Probably a teaspoon of kosher salt. Try to keep that adjusted, apologies. Okay, we're gonna let that start to sizzle. Okay, we're back. As you can see, our ground beef sizzling away. So I'm gonna add some fresh ground pepper. We're going to add most of the chili powder. Put some in reserve. Throw in our minced garlic. We'll add maybe about a half teaspoon of ground cumin, and about a half a teaspoon ground cinnamon. If you don't have ground cinnamon, you can also just throw a whole cinnamon stick in there and fish it out later. So we'll get this stirred. Oh, that smells awesome. Okay, once the spice and the garlic are stirred into the beef, we're going to introduce our raw vegetables. So in go the onion, the pepper, the celery, and the mushrooms. Make sure that all gets in there. Give it a stir. What's Emerald say? Get these all happy together. So we'll let this sweat, cook down just a bit, and then we'll introduce the tomatoes and the beans. Okay, be back shortly. Okay, so our beef and raw vegetables have been cooking down for about 4 or 5 minutes on medium-high heat. So now we're going to I'm going to turn the heat down a bit, and I'm going to incorporate the beans and the tomatoes. In go the beans. And on top of that, the tomatoes, liquid and all. And I can already tell that most of the chili powder has been absorbed. So we're going to add some more. Piece of paper from the can. Get that out of there. And I think I'm going to put a bit more cumin and cinnamon in as well. Get this all stirred up. A little bit more cinnamon. Get this all together. Okay, and what I'm also going to add, and here we are, we're out in the country, it is rural, and if you don't have something, you don't just run to the store for one thing. So I want to add some volume to this, fill this pot. So in the fridge, I had an open jar of salsa. I made some nachos the other day, and rather than leave that jar in the fridge to become a science experiment, I'm going to use it up, and I'm going to introduce it. So this is just a off-the-shelf, store-bought black bean and corn salsa from leftover nachos from a few days ago. So in the pot it goes. Throw a bit of water in the jar, shake it up, and put it in. Got that jar clean. In she goes. Stir everything in. Now I think that needs a little bit more liquid because it's going to cook down. So I'm just going to add maybe a cup of water. There we have it. We're going to simmer this now all afternoon. It's actually, it's 11 o'clock in the morning right now. And this will be ready for kickoff at 6 o'clock. Come back in a little while, I'll show you how it's going. So I put the lid on, low heat. There we go. This is going to be our Super Bowl chili. Okay, so the chili's been simmering away for almost 2 hours. Gonna Give it a stir. You can see everything's coming together. It looks beautiful. Color's great. I've tasted it. It's got enough heat. I used hot chili powder. So I was going to put some red chilies in, but I don't really need to. But it's just I don't want to say bitter, but more savory. So I'm just going to take the edge off a bit by putting a tablespoon of brown sugar in. That'll soften it up, still keep the spice and the really rich chili flavor. So I'm going to go ahead and get a spoon of that. In she goes. Stir that up. Sorry about the camera shaking. I'm holding it and trying to film and stir at the same time. So we'll get that stirred in. Put the lid back on. And walk away for another hour or two. And then we'll taste, serve some up, and get ready for Super Bowl. Okay, so we've been simmering this for pretty close to 3 hours now. You can see it's cooked down a bit. It's gotten thicker, richer. Give her a taste. Oh, excellent. Lots of flavor, bit of heat, mix of sweet and savory. It's the right amount of spice. So I'm going to serve this up and show you. And enjoy the Super Bowl. And here we are. Served up. Super Bowl chili. Dollop of sour cream. Some fresh ground pepper. And some shredded Parmesan cheese on top. With some tortilla chips. Enjoy.